this is going to sound funny, but I am not rich. I get a lot of people thinking I must be a millionaire to do what I do. No, I am not rich. That's not the case at all. In fact, that's going to lead into today's tip. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here. I've already gone through them. I'm going to show you what I found. The only reason I've got the hundreds out here is I am on my way to play in the World Series of Poker circuit event in Indiana. So I've got my buy-in right here. That is what my tip was going to be. No, not to play poker, but my tip is how I get all my money. What I have is I have my poker bankroll. I have money set aside to play poker. I keep that in a special place. That is my money for playing poker. However, I am not playing poker every single day of my life. In fact, because of my job, I only get to go out and play poker once every few months. But in the meantime, that means I have money sitting in an envelope waiting to play. And if I've got that money just sitting there, it's not doing anything for me. So I will take $1,000 of that money, buy a bunch of singles, sort through them. And that's the best part about sorting through singles or sorting through change or collecting money and coin roll hunting is that you only spend face value on the stuff that you have here. For instance, all these bills, this cost me $1,000. But the stuff I pulled out of that 1,000, what is that? 20 bills? That means I only spent $20 of that $1,000. And all this I get to keep. This is still my money, and I can return it to the bank for regular bills, $100 bills like these here. So just because I've shown thousands and thousands and thousands of singles does not mean that I have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, nor does this hobby cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. In fact, later on in the video when I get to my special collection, I'm going to show you a way that's going to help you grow your collection as well. Anyway, 1,000 in singles, buy-in for tonight's tournament. Hopefully I'll do pretty good there. Grow my stack a little bit. We'll get those out of the way and let's see what we found this week, because this week brought me something extremely interesting. We're starting off this week with a trinary. 1s, 3s, and 4s. One away from a binary, but one away doesn't count, still a trinary. This is a trinary as well. This is 2s, 6s, and 7s. This one is an alternator, believe it or not. Look at that second digit. It's a 4. You've got 8, 4, 8, 4, 0, 4, 9, 4. So the 4 is the alternator there, alternating every position. You don't find a lot of those. This one here is quads. I've got quad 4s on this particular bill. And then I found 5 2s. 5 2s in a row on this particular bill. I don't come across 5 of a kind or more very often. So when I do, it's a big deal, and it's an even bigger deal when I find multiples. This one has 5 3s. They're from different runs. It's not like they were consecutive. But finding 5 in a row twice, well, that shows why you should always go to different banks, because I did go to a different bank this time to get my straps. You notice there were so few trinaries that time, and yet I found a couple of the 5 in a row, 5 blocks. This one here's a birthday note, or anniversary note, however you want to call it. 1991, that would be January 27th, 1991. And then I get to my stars. I didn't put these in order this time as far as their dates go, but I did find quite a few of the star notes here, so I was happy with that. Some of them aren't in the best of shape, but I will check them nonetheless. This one is 2017. And with star notes, well, when we get to the back of the pack, you're going to see what I've got to say about there. I've learned something new, and I've gotten a whole new perspective on star notes. A lot of these are, have seen some circulation, but there was a couple in here that were crisp. This one starts with a 0. This one starts with 2 zeros, so there's a chance there. 264,000, there's a chance that could be a low print run. This one's got some heavy creasing. And when I get to my older bills, this one was this is a 1999. That's what it is, 1999 right there. It's got writing on it, so probably going to go back in. Another 99 without writing, not in the greatest of shape. 1995, another 1995, 95, 95, and this one's torn, so this will definitely be going back. 1988A, it's got the letter, so we know what that means. Then I found a 1969. This is the oldest note that was in the bunch. 1969, fairly good shape. I mean, for a 1969, it's an excellent shape. So it was nice to come across a bill from the 60s. But it wasn't the only bill from the 60s that I found. As you can see, I've got something shiny right behind it. Check this out. Found in circulation this week. That is a 1969C. It's from Minneapolis. It's an I note. And it's a star note. A star note from Minneapolis. Now, if you go to mycoincollection.com, it only lists star notes back to a certain date because it then refers you to other places to find how valuable your star notes are. Well, I have that other place. That other place, of course, would be the book. I've got my book, Paper Money of the United States, and I decided I was going to look this one up, and we're going to find out what it's worth. And I'll let you guys be the judge. So what I did, let's see if I can do this without knocking everything over. I'm going to take this off the stand. Sorry if I shake you guys for a second. And we're going to check this out. There it is, series of 1969C. Remove that there. And this is right there, an I note 69C. And if we look at that right here, where is it? Now it's not going to focus for me. It lists it as, well, the FR number is 1906. Okay, FR number is not the year, but the FR number 1906. Maybe I can get this to focus a little better here. It says that there are, well, that's why, because the page is crooked. If it lays flat, I can get it to focus. We're talking 640,000 total star notes from the Minneapolis print. And that bill is worth $12 in EF40, and it's $30 in choice uncirculated. Well, that made me wonder. That note is from 1969. There's 640,000 of them made, and it's worth $12. All of you who have looked up star notes on mycurrencycollection.com have probably seen star notes that rare, and maybe you've been lucky enough to find some that are rarer than that. But there's one, according to the book, from the 60s that's only worth $12. So I was kind of disappointed to see that. What made me even more curious is that I had found a 2017, I think it was, or was it a 2013, that I had listed on eBay that was one of 640,000. And that one actually sold on eBay for $20. So my question is, what makes the note itself valuable? Can't just be the print run. This run had the same print run as the bill I sold on eBay. The one I sold on eBay, I got $20 for, and that was printed very recently. So why was that one 20 and this one only listed at 12? Did the person dramatically overpay for my current note? Well, no, I saw stuff on eBay where they were listed and selling for $30, $40, $50. The first one that was listed sold for over $300. But once again, here we are, 1969. $12 in this condition and $30 if it was mint. I'm not saying it's not mint, I'm just not going to overgrade my stuff. So that was just an interesting thing to think about. Sorry, flu shot time. An interesting to think about when it comes to star notes, that The book lists this note as only 12 bucks. Anyway, let's dig a little deeper. Like I started the video off, I am not rich. I am not rich by any stretch of the imagination. However, there are ways that you can make a little money, and there are ways you can grow your collection. And this bill here is a prime example of that. What this is here is, this is a 1914 $10 bill. You can see on top it says Federal Reserve Note. What makes this bill a little bit odd is that it has a blue seal right here. A blue seal generally indicates a silver certificate. A red seal would indicate that it was a legal tender, usually backed by bonds or something to that effect. The 1914 Federal Reserve $10 bill comes in two forms. The earliest form had a red seal here. This one here does have the blue seal. But the thing that I wanted to bring this note out for is the fact that, well, it's got this corner missing. And yes, I've already done the curse of the $2 bill and why those corners are taken off. Take a peek at the back of this one here. This particular note with that torn corner means that this note does not grade very high. It's still a beautiful note. If you don't have any large size currency, and when I say large size currency, for those of you who forget the comparison, here's a $1 bill. So yeah, they aren't kidding when they say large. For those of you who don't have large size currency, it's always a neat addition to any collection. Just to see the engraving work on this, to see a bill this size, and to realize that this is a piece of history. This is what they did and what people carried around. This particular one has Andrew Jackson on the front. But anyway, this bill, once again, according to the book, if I was to dig in here, we will see that this particular note, where did it go? Lists in VG8 for roughly $70. $70 is the price on this particular note, and that's in VG8. However, this note is not in VG8 because it's missing a corner. Well, if it only lists the price at VG8, what's it worth? That's the ultimate question. And if you ask 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers. And that's how you start making a little bit of money in collecting paper money and collecting coins. A note like this, maybe it's worth $20 to one guy, maybe it's worth $30 to another. Well, if you can buy it from the one guy for 20 and sell it to the other guy for 30, that's profit. And that's how you can start making your collection. Not only are you going to have notes like this in your collection, but you're going to be able to grow your collection by selling them for slightly more than what you were able to pick up. This particular note, including shipping when I bought it, cost me $35. And like I said, in VG8, it says $70. I'm not necessarily looking to sell this note because I don't have a replacement for it. But if I do buy a nicer version of this note, I know I can sell this note and probably get at least, $30 to $40 out of it. If I did a little bit of hunting, I'm sure I could have found one for $20 to $25. And I know that I can probably sell one for $30 to $35 if it's labeled right. Anyway, that's what I've got for you this week. Ways to take smaller bills that there isn't a set value on and, let's say play in the margins, I guess is a good way to put it. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. If you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.